Hi everyone, welcome to the kitchen. So today I'm making a pretty simple vegetarian bolognese. So it's exactly like the way you would make your normal bolognese, but just leave the meat out. But I have a couple of really interesting things that you can do to just healthify the bolognese. So it's cooking away here, okay? So literally all I have in there is my onion. I put in a little bit of shallot because shallot is sweeter than onion, gives it a nice flavour. Peppers and mushrooms, so they're just cooking away. Now, be careful with things like red pepper or tomato. Do not overcook them. I mean, literally put them on number 6 for 2 to 3 minutes and then bring it right down to number 2, which I'm going to do now. Because if you do that, it'll help retain more of the vitamin C because it's so fragile and it'll get destroyed easily in the cooking. Okay, so that's first top tip. Second top tip is this is just a little tub where I keep herbs. So these have just come out of the freezer. So what do I have in here? Can I remember? I've got parsley, I've got basil. Yeah, I think it's just parsley and basil in this one. Yep. So what I do is take out a little bit of the herb, okay? So there you go. Literally just chop it up and put it in towards the end of the cooking. I've also taken spinach and kale out of my freezer as well. And just like the herbs, okay, at the end of cooking, so literally when there's about 60 seconds to go, when you've added your ragu sauce, okay, I use this one here, okay, from Tesco's. It's just a passata actually. So anything at all, you can use chopped tomatoes if you prefer that, or put your chopped tomatoes in the blender and whiz them up. But when you're a busy person like me, this is a really good backup. So yes, when you add in your sauce, literally just tear off your kale, tear off your spinach. You know, you might need to give it a little bit of a chop to get it in there when it's frozen, but it's so simple and it's such a cost effective, waste reducing way of getting extra nutrition into your food, everybody. Because let's take the kale and the spinach. They are what we call cruciferous green vegetables. There's a good amount of calcium in there. They're loaded with fiber and other vitamins and minerals, and they're just so good for you. And our gut bugs, our microbiome, love them. They love those deep leafy greens with, of course, the rest of the rainbow of colour. So you pop those in at the end. And then what I even do as well is I still use my mixed herbs, okay? Because what you'll get in there is you'll get a bit of rosemary and oregano. And the more variety, okay, that you can give your gut, the happier and healthier it will feel and you will be. And I even go as far as to add in a bit of sea salad, everybody. So that's literally just Irish organic seaweed. So it's a combination of dulse and different things. Just show you it there in my hand. You can see it. And I just pop that in at the end as well. Again, you know, if you've got fussy eaters or you think, oh God, seaweed's a bit of a stretch for me, you know, just put that on your table as a condiment. You can do the same with this, okay? That doesn't have to go in cooking. It's just sometimes handier to put it all in, but they can just be left on your table if you're having a meal, you know, yourself, friends, family, whatever, and use those as a condiment. And that's it. Oh, and not forgetting garlic. One thing I noticed about garlic is that people definitely put garlic in too soon when they're making something like a bolognese. Garlic is actually a very soft herb. It doesn't need a lot of cooking time. So literally maybe about 4 minutes or so when you're simmering down the bolognese, I would put the garlic in then. And don't use too much garlic, everybody. I've made this mistake in the past as well. Like a clove or two is more than enough for a bolognese, because the interesting thing about garlic is garlic is an antibiotic. It's a natural antibiotic, okay? But what does antibiotic actually mean? Well, if you take it back to the Latin derivative, antibio means anti-life. So even though these are natural antibiotics, and antibiotics are great to help us cure sickness and whatever, too much of this is not good. Okay, I don't know how the Italians and, you know, the Mediterranean people get away with eating. Maybe they don't eat so much of it. You know, maybe that's a misconception. But certainly a clove or two is probably more than enough in any meal that you're making. Okay, so that's it, everyone. I'll put in a little pic when it's finished. But again, it's just a typical bolognese. Okay, you know what you're getting. It's more those little tips around getting the herbs in, getting the kale in with the calcium and the spinach as well. And another tip before I go is these are already starting to defrost, so I need to get what I need out of these, get them in the pot and get this straight back into the freezer. So don't leave them sitting out, because obviously you don't want to be refreezing things that you've just defrosted. So that's it, everyone. You know, an alternative to your red meat bolognese is just that vegetarian bolognese like I'm doing. You know, if your kids enjoy it, it's a really good way to cut down on red meat, which we really all should be doing. It's a great way to add in little bits and pieces like I've just shown you. You know, you may have other ingredients that you want to put in. Just pop them in the comments, okay, if you've got any ideas around that. And it really does taste great. And my final tip before I go, and I actually saw this on TV, it was an Italian cooking program at one time. What the Italians actually do, this one of their secrets to making a really good bolognese is to make it the day before, because all of the flavors of the herbs and, you know, the vegetables, the oils, they all just marinate. You know, so I don't have this made the day before, but I've got it made at least 4 or 5 hours before dinner. So, you know, it will still marinate. So it's a good idea to try and get a dish like this, or any dish for flavor, made in advance. Let it sit, let it cool, let all those flavors merge, and it'll just taste so much nicer. Okay, everyone, enjoy.